Hello, this is Lady Grace. Today we're here to ask the mermaids for support. So I'd asked kind of generally what it was, and right away what came through was a relationship. So here are some actually encouraging words from the mermaids if you are trying to manifest an SP or been looking for your love, all that kind of thing. The two cards that I pulled today, one was endurance. Sorry, guys. Just keep going. Okay. So, what I was getting here is that you've been working really hard on yourself, uh, working on becoming kind of like the magnet to the person that you're wanting to attract. And sometimes when you don't see the movement externally, you get kind of defeated or tired. And I'm getting like, no, like you're right on the cusp. But the whole thing is, can you maintain that feeling of what it is that you want to be? How do you want to feel? How do you want to be? How do you want to think in a relationship with that specific person or a person that you're just trying to attract in general? Because if you can't, you'll just prolong the manifestation of it coming into your life, or you'll kind of get like hot cold behavior. Um, so remember that, like, why you're doing this. So I always, when I try to manifest something and it's not quite showing up in my reality, whenever I always remember the law of vibration. So everything is always in motion, even if it doesn't look like it is. Okay. So things are always changing, things are always morphing. The whole thing is, from my understanding, for us to see it in full physical manifestation, it has to be kind of solid or solidified enough in your system, like your belief systems, your thoughts, in order for you to physically see it, right? For you to actually experience it, okay? And that takes a lot of endurance. Let's be real. So if it's something you haven't experienced before, it's really difficult for you to be like, well, heck, oh, I don't know, how would that feel? How does that? What would that experience be? This is where your imagination really does come in. And sometimes what I used to do is I used to actually use movies. So before I met my husband, I'd pick a movie that made me feel like this is how I'd want to feel in a relationship when I'd watch that movie, right? This is how I want to feel. This is how I want my husband to see me. So how would that feel if I was that character in that movie, right? So that helped me. So everyone has a different way of doing it. Movies is how I kind of, to be honest, learned a lot about how energy works and consciousness. Um, and some people it's music, so it could be through lyrics, right, or through just rhythm. Everyone is different, so you have to figure out how you engage with this world externally, even though yes, it is all internal, but let's be real, we're focused on the external. Figure out ways that you can elicit feeling within you. And again, everyone is different. My husband, it's music. For me, it's movies, right? um, So you have to kind of, you know what I mean? Choose your path. Don't let anyone tell you what that is. Don't let anyone tell you what that is. We can give you general tips on how to do things, but you're you, right? And so the ultimate goal, you know what I mean, is to stay in that feeling um, of what they would call, say, the wish fulfilled in the law of assumption, or just like stay in the feeling of the experience, okay? And just keep going, just keep going, keep going. It's repetition that gets the subconscious mind to believe it eventually. Okay. Um, Instantaneous things, let's be real, that happens if you're close. It only happens if you're really close to that belief already, and it doesn't take a lot for you to buy it. You know what I mean? But if it's not, just use repetition, guys. Use what works for you. And for me, repetition sounds strange, but if I'll watch something over and over again, that will really go into my subconscious and help it change, right? That's why music, you listen to a song over and over again, right? That hopefully is the theme of what you want and not a struggle, right? Then that will help you get into that feeling, right? So whatever you need to do will get you into that feeling. So it's like, I always see it as like when you exercise. So people that don't exercise daily probably don't know what that's like to actually want to exercise daily or to experience it, right? So the only way you know it, to be honest, is by saturating yourself with the experience. So you decide you're going to exercise every day. So you're going to ride your bike, for example. And it takes a little while for you to be like, no, I want to ride my bike. Because sometimes you don't really want to, right? You just think it's because you need to. And then eventually your body will crave it. Your body will want it because it's become a habit. So your subconscious will entice you to do that action without you having to think much about it. That's the idea, okay? So, falling in love. My camera was fine before, so I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so basically the idea of this card, falling in love, is so you're right there, right? But again, falling in love is also about falling, I know it sounds strange, but falling in love with you, the person you're going to be, because if you think you're going to be the same person in love, then you're not going to get there, right? Because you're not going to be the same person in love. So I think a lot of people have trouble with this. Like they think they're going to maintain like their identity entirely. You're not. When you're with another person in a healthy relationship, you figure out how you dance together, right? So your habits will probably change. Like even your sleeping habits will change, like when you go shopping will change, you know what I mean? All these things will change. And welcoming the change is the big one, is to be like, okay, with my person, with my specific person, I welcome the changes, right, that my life will have with that person, or else there'll never be a void, right? So if you think you're filling your whole void, which is true, you do, you actually do that, but ironically, you have to fill it within in order to have a relationship. However, there has to be a space in your mind for that person to come in. Okay, so there has to be, this is where people are like compromise. Compromise is just allowing space for something to exist and for you actually to become something different, actually. People are always scared of these things. Who said that when you provide space, that when you change to be a different person, you're not going to like them? Well, that's probably not a great partner. Do you know what I mean? Ideally, when you provide that space, you do like yourself more. You learn more about yourself, right? Because that person will show you aspects of yourself that you don't quite understand or you haven't quite explored, right? So fall in love with the process of falling in love, right? Of allowing the space for someone to come in, for you to have a partner, okay? So I know that can be confusing for some, but I can tell you if you're strong, independent, you're going to be strong, independent alone, probably. You can be strong, independent in a partnership, this is true. So it depends on the dynamic of the partnership, right? But for me, I had to relent a bit and allow someone else to be strong for me sometimes. That's all you need to do. Just give it a little bit. Just give him a little bit. You got to keep in mind, I loved Xena when I was younger. You know what I mean? But in order for me to have a healthy dynamic, I understand that I don't always have to be quote unquote strong, right? I can be vulnerable, which is just actually more powerful in many cases. But you know what I mean? So if you can leave space for the areas that allow someone to teach you, to help you, to support you, that's what I'm trying to say when it comes to a great and a beautiful dynamic in a relationship, okay? So hopefully this answers your questions about your SPs. I'm not sure what I'm going to title this, but so this is a message from our mermaids. So I was excited. I got these cards the other day. So hopefully this helps. I'm Lady Grace. So I have an Etsy shop below. So if you want a more specific reading about love, they're in my shop. I also have spirit baby readings, energy healings, all those things, the Rune readings as well, which I highly recommend if you're really, really stuck, because it goes very specifically into the unconscious and subconscious minds as to what is actually blocking you and what's the theme there, okay? So hopefully this helped you, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, please like and subscribe if you like these videos. Have a good day.